Hey folks, I am not standing in as some exotic far off tropical rainforest, but instead I'm here in my greenhouse in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the first thing my friends notice when they come in here is how bright it is and how much light there is. Because I can't grow any of these different types of plants without having the right amount of light. So I've worked on installing grow lights, have skylights built in the top to let sunlight in. And therefore, you're going to see different types of locales where plants make the best of it. As you can see, I have plants growing above me, below me, and all around me. Because plants grow on these different places in the rainforest and in the forest outside. Most plants grow in soil at the bottom of the forest, but even outside, they have to fight with light from the trees above. To do that, these plants, like these begonias, have developed redness under their leaves. We see here the redness. So when the sunlight comes below and goes through the leaves, it bounces back, and the red cells on these begonias actually pick up the reflected light. So they can make the most of what they get when they get so little. In addition to the challenges of getting light on the forest floor, being so close to the forest floor means that bugs and slugs and mold can get to the leaves and eat them. Slugs do not like to crawl on rough leaves. They like smooth surfaces here. So this begonia has a rough leaf. This other begonia has a rough leaf. And they also they have a velvety surface to repel water, so they don't get not too moist, so mold grows on them. So those are the simple ways, and if they look like they've got molded on already, another bug may not eat them because it mimics it. So a couple things they do in addition to getting water, in addition to getting light. We were on the bottom of the rainforest, or the bottom on the soil where most plants grow. But now we're in the treetops of a rainforest. Not here in North Carolina because it's too cold for most plants to grow in the trees, and the soil keeps them sheltered and contained. But when you get to the coast of North Carolina and further south, plants can grow in the trees and basically capitalize on more light, like this Spanish moss, which is related to pineapples, and other light-bearing plants. But here, plants have adapted because they don't have the constant moisture around the roots. Their leaves have gotten thicker. They feel like plastic. They're actually holding water. They also have to deal with lots of wind, which can break a tender plant that grows on the ground, so they have to be tougher. They have to be more resistant to wind and strong storms. They also have to be more resistant to different animals. They have insects with bigger pinchers. They have mammals that eat them. They've got birds that eat flowers. They've all these other things they've got to deal with. So they have thicker leaves. Their roots are thick. As you can see behind you, they're white. They hang down and they grip on the jungle. They actually grip on the trees, which how most epiphytic, meaning air-growing plants, survive. So this bromeliad, again related to pineapple, keeps its water by these cells that soak up, or this coating that soaks up water like a sponge and keeps it moist. So therefore it can pick up additional sprays and mists that come in from the rainforest. Similarly, orchid roots here basically turn white when they're dry, but here they're green when they're wet because they soak up water like a sponge. So rainforest plants have had to adapt to growing with less constant water, with more things that want to eat them, and tougher weather than on the forest floor. But they get the light, and they survive just the same.